What is up, y'all? My name is Christian Metcalf, or Milky Made It. I just didn't want to make a whole new YouTube. I decided I wanted to start opening up about my spiritual experiences. We're just going to talk about it on here. My experiences started in March 2024. I had no clue what was going on, but once I realized what was going on, I think around November of 2024, I began posting about it on TikTok. I thought people were going to start calling me crazy. I was very nervous. It took me a long time to open up about it, but I went ahead and posted about it, and as you can see in this video right here, it just blew up. I mean, it's not in the millions, but it got started getting like 100,000 views, and then 200,000 views, and I started getting comment after comment after comment of people saying that they had experienced something similar, or they knew about this. And it blew my mind because I was like thinking that I was the only one going through this. What did help was I came across a YouTube channel by a dude named Victor Odo. I think that's how you pronounce his name. But I was undergoing this thing called Kundalini Awakening. My bad about that. I still want to keep this kind of fun. I had no clue what any of that stuff was. Religion was something I was allowed to explore freely at a young age. So I got into like paganism, Christianity, Wicca, and then eventually when I turned 16, I got into Levian Satanism. And my dad was cool with it. We sat down and read the Satanic Bible, and he asked me how I felt about it, and then for that next 16 years, I had been just a Levian Satanist, not really worshiping Satan. It's more of feels like a glorified version of atheism, in my opinion. But there's a lot of political, it's like it's got a lot of activist kind of stuff going on in it, which is cool. Well, let me start from the beginning. So, I spent 16 years being a Levian Satanist. Ended up getting a whole pentagram tattooed on my chest. That was just, I didn't believe in an afterlife. I didn't believe in anything. I thought we died and that was it. Everything goes black. So, I'm 32 now. I'm about to be 33 in a few days. Around 27, I got into heroin, which eventually led me into fentanyl. Prior to this, I drank a lot every day, damn near, throughout my 20s. But I got into fentanyl pretty bad for a few years, and I overdosed a lot. I almost lost my leg overdosing next to a space heater. It took me a year to walk again. Spent a long time in the hospital with 4th-degree burns down to my bone. You could see my kneecap. There's still quite a gnarly scar. You can't really see it right here, but I still deal with a lot of the aftermath of it. So that happened. I ended up moving to California, down in San Diego. I was in Del Mar for about a year. I got lucky. I got an opportunity to move in with somebody for a bit. I got a job. I overdosed a couple times out there, but I got clean. And then I ended up moving back to Arkansas in May 2023. So I'm sober in Arkansas, and I started feeling a calling to pursue religion. So I started praying to God, getting back into the Bible, and that's when the synchronicities kind of started, but I didn't really pay attention at first. I got picked up by a bishop who had seen me walking, and he gave me a ride, and then I ended up going to his church. We talked a little bit. I guess he was a crackhead in Dallas for about 20 years, and then he came up here and started the church, so I went to his church a couple times. And it was a good time. And got to talk to some people and all that. But as I started going down this road, I was just every moment I was waking up, I was thinking about how grateful I was for everything. And it was just every day. And I, like, excuse the mess in the background. I'm still, not in the best place. I'm not looking for pity or anything. I plan on getting out of this house soon. But I realized, I was like, I've been waiting for this, to get a good, decent backdrop. So I bought this tapestry. Maybe I could sit closer. I don't know. But the mic, whatever. Either way, I decided I'm just going to jump into it. So here I am jumping into it. And anyway, so in March 2024, I had a dream. I wouldn't even call it a dream, really. It was a lot more than that. I don't typically dream a lot because I do partake. I'm trying to get back to not doing that for now, so I can dream more often. But I had a dream in March, and in the dream, I was in a cave, and I was looking up at a large humanoid lion in a suit of armor, and I just felt this overwhelming just sensation. I was just, what, I don't know what I was looking at, but it was something important. We'll get more into that later. Just a heads up, I've been down a lot of rabbit holes, so we're gonna, in future videos, we're gonna get into stuff about starseed stuff, Kundalini, Christ consciousness, metaphysical stuff, psychedelic stuff. We're gonna talk about human design, astrology, aliens. This past year, I've been through it. But after that dream, that's when the headaches started. And I'm not talking about just regular headaches. These were weird headaches. And I don't really normally get headaches. I stay hydrated a lot. I'm constantly drinking water. I'm relatively healthy besides the cigarettes and alcohol from time to time. I started getting these headaches. It felt like pressure in my head, just moving around. And in the sense of full authenticity, because I try to be authentic all the time. I had been doing nitrous oxide prior to this. So I start feeling this like gas-like pressure moving around in my head, and I thought maybe that it was the nitrous. So I go to the doctor and I tell her about it, and I tell her that I think that's what it is. And she's like, "No, you're in your 30s. This is normal. Men have headaches. This is a seasonal thing." And I was like, I don't think it's normal. I don't have headaches ever. So, like, regardless of the season. So I guess I just got dismissed, kind of, and that's what I posted about in my TikTok. And a lot of people were like, "No, don't listen to her," and it gets crazier. It gets crazier. So throughout the year, I'm having these headaches. They mostly acted up at night, and I start having weird sensations in my body. I'm talking about like hot, cold, in my extremities, like my legs and my hands and my thighs would just like have like hot and cold spots. Uh, I felt uh, I felt like I couldn't stand for long periods of time. I was laying down a lot. I would feel this energy move throughout my body, and I was convinced that it was the nitrous. So I went to the ER probably, if I had to guess, at least 80 times in 2024. And thank God for government insurance, because I didn't pay a dime, but I could hear them talking in the hallways. A lot of them were thinking I was seeking pills, which I don't blame them. A lot of them thought I was going crazy, which I thought I was. I was in and out of the ER numerous times with different symptoms, heart palpitations. I thought I was having a heart attack. I called the ambulance to my house. I was getting just like chills. I felt like stuff surging through my body. I felt numerous instances of testicular pain, really painful testicular pain. I felt this energy shoot up past my heart, and it was the most painful thing ever. I started crying. My dad was witnessing all this stuff. He thought I was losing it. My daughter, at one point, took my temperature, and we watched my temperature raise from 97 to 103 rapidly, back and forth, back and forth. There's a lot more symptoms that I'm not able to think of off top, but I know you might see the camera angle change, and it's just because I'm editing this on the fly. I don't have a script, so I'm adding in stuff. Uh, I had felt a really intense energy shoot up my spine. Then it went to the top of my head, and then it felt like what seemed at the time felt like a bunch of like millions of little air bubbles going down my head and then down my body and my back. And I thought that was maybe that was nitrous like escaping or something. I'm going through all this all year. I saw a pulmonologist, I saw a neurologist, I demanded multiple x-rays, an unhealthy amount of x-rays, CT scans with and without contrast. At one point I told a doctor to drill my head open because he would see something. He was like, "We're not going to drill your head open." Um, I had one time I had two X-rays back to back. I was like, "No, do it again," and she was like, "This is not safe." And I said, "I don't care. I know something's going on." Uh, Needless to say, nothing ever got solved by the doctors. They never found anything. They thought I was crazy. That was until I think it was around November of 2024, probably a few months earlier. It's such a blur, honestly. That's when I started like going on these forums and stuff because I was looking up nitrous oxide. I was like, is this nitrous oxide? All the doctors kept telling me that's impossible. Nitrous oxide has a half life of this long. It can't be in your body. Uh, Side note, prior to this, I had tried semen retention. I'm not sure if that had anything to do with it, but I went 30 days and that was that could be it too. All I know is this seems like it was spontaneous because I had no idea what this stuff was and I wasn't trying to achieve anything. I only did the SR so I could try to get more creativity. So as this is going on, I ended up having a what I think was an astral projection experience where I had went up into the sky and I saw like the surface of the planet and I was like a ball of light and I could see a bunch of other balls of light and I could see people like I could feel people's like sadness and pain and stuff. So I tried to like push back and it was overwhelming, so I gave up and I fell back into my body and woke up. Um After that, I ended up looking on forums and I was trying to figure out if this was nitrous or not. And I kept typing in all my symptoms, and I eventually came across an article by some woman named Cindy. And I can't remember her last name, but I just remember reading the article, and she was listing off every single symptom that I was experiencing. And then at the end, it said Kundalini. And I was like, what the hell is Kundalini? So I start looking into this Kundalini thing because every fucking symptom lined up. And that's when I came across Victor's videos. Shout out to him. I don't we're not affiliated in any way, but he's like the first guy I came across on YouTube. And it just everything he said resonated with me because he had the same kind of story that I had. And like as he was telling his story, I was like, "What the like is he living my experience right now?" Because he had the same story. It was I was a junkie. I was I didn't believe in any of this stuff. I didn't do any spiritual stuff, and then all of a sudden, boom, this shit just started happening, and that's what happened to me. So shortly after that, I felt compelled to start posting about it. So I took to TikTok, and I had been on there pretty actively for a while now, and I've had some that one video really popped off, and that's what confirmed it for me that I'm not losing my mind because I saw everybody's comments, and I've been steadily posting on there as much as I can. Uh, but I've been feeling compelled to take this to YouTube because I think that we're supposed to be sharing this stuff. I went through all of that stuff in 2024 and it was terrifying, brutal. I, at one point, had told my dad that I needed to write a will. I was entirely sure that I was going to die. And I think I may have died in a sense. My old self may have died, and, here we are. I forgot to mention things started changing rapidly. I started having intuitive urges to do some things that I had never even considered doing. Fasting, grounding, meditation. Out of nowhere, I was just like, I'm not gonna eat for this long, or I'm gonna go out in the backyard and meditate. And I noticed as soon as I started doing that, all my symptoms slowly started dissipating. And I've since then I haven't had any headaches like that again. I'll still feel energy circulate throughout my body, but I don't have any painful or uncomfortable symptoms at all. Since then, a lot of things have improved in life. Not to say that I mean clearly I've still got struggles. I've still got issues. I had a recent minor relapse, not with fentanyl, but opiates. And there's been ups and downs like normal, but since this experience, I know that there is more to life. I don't want to make a super long video, so I'm just gonna leave it kind of open ended, and we'll see how this goes. And I'll probably post a lot more about the things that I've experienced, the things that I've learned. One thing I want to make clear is that I am not a guru. I am not a guide. I don't know shit, really. I just like to research and look into a lot of stuff, and I've been through some stuff, and I mostly just want to make this stuff to reach out to other people who may be experiencing the same thing, because I know I had no clue what was going on, and I was just at my wits' end. So coming across other people with similar experiences really, really helped me, and I'm trying to do the same thing for others. So yeah, that's basically it. I don't have the answers for anything, but I can tell you what I know, or what I think I know. But we're gonna get into a lot more stuff when it comes to all of this spiritual stuff. I looked into human design recently, and I'm a reflector, and made a lot of sense whenever I came across that, especially the lunar based stuff, because it seems like during the full moons, um, I tend to have a lot more physical sensations, a lot more synchronicities, a lot more wild experiences. I know when the full moon, I think it was the full moon or new moon in Taurus in October, I spent a lot of time meditating in a field, and I did see a craft. Don't know what it was. It was just a silver ball. Um, but I know for sure what I saw. It was in the middle of the day. Um, but yeah, that's about it for this video. We're gonna make more videos and get into more of these experiences and stuff that I've come across. If you've gone through something similar, let me know in the comments. Um, in no way, shape, or form am I trying to give medical advice to anybody experiencing any symptoms. Obviously, go get it checked out. I can't tell you what you're going through is what I'm going through, but all I can do is put this out there, and just in case it might help somebody. But that's it for this video. Much love, y'all, and I'll see y'all next time.